Trading.
Trading's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous stuff.
Let's do it.
Don't do it. Hello and welcome, traders. Finally a good day again, and I had a lot of fun. Also made a bunch of ticks, about 833 ticks per account, so a total of 5,000 ticks roundabout. But even if every trade would have gone break even, doesn't matter because it was so much fun just trading this. It was pretty wild. We traded down most of the day. Quick look on NQ daily candles since June. You can see that we're in the area of this last low, so there's a lot of contested levels here, and this caused a lot of volatility and pretty crazy price action. Mostly clean price action. It was like exactly a day of my taste, but at times it got pretty tricky. Alright, here we go. So the green square you see here is yesterday's value area. That was one inflection point. I don't have all my inflection points on here. Like for example, initial balance, yesterday's close, and all these nice levels where you like look for a reaction. I missed this right out of the open here. So I waited until it broke, started the position here, and I was just about to add to that position here when it retraced. So basically took it down back to the retest of yesterday's value area here. Then we traded through RTH VWAP and down. So this was a really nice move down, and the traded volume and the delta suggested that this is a good entry, so I took it, just nibbling with one lot. Right about here we had some absorption that told me this is not going to retrace back to a VWAP, so I went flat here. We had another leg down here, again traded volume, said it would be a good place to enter. I took it and then flattened when it didn't look like it was continuing towards VWAP. Alright, next trade here, a couple of minutes later, 9:12 Chicago time. It felt like a good bottom here, and I actually don't think I was even watching that this is yesterday's value area low at the time, but just the price action looked like this is a good bottom, so it started going up. I didn't flat out because I felt it can go up more and it can go down more, so I was fine with either way. Either I take it out higher or I add to the position lower. So I only added one more contract when we came here to get a better average between the two. I was still planning on building my position further down, and since I was in more than one contract, I basically took one off here and then wanted to reload that. Basically kept one as a core and wanted to reload that when I come back down, but not to the same level. I wanted to see it lower. Didn't happen, and basically traded higher, and there was a pause and absorption for a moment here, so I took it out, and yeah, that was a good little profit. Ignore that, no FOMO. Then here around 9:50 Chicago time, things got a little wild. We had this beautiful big move down, again reacting with the value area of yesterday. So I started nibbling in with a position here, added a little bit here, and even without looking at the delta right now, you can see how the volume faded and things got weaker and there was more buying happening, how there's like lost volume and pushed here, so I kept adding here, building my position. Got to kind of a medium position, took a bunch profitable off. This was actually a new position, so it was just a 1-2, and then here I took one off, wanted to ride the other one up to the next volume lane, which was at that time, I don't remember, somewhere in this area, but then traded volume suggested otherwise, so I just took it off. Then around 10:50 we basically had trickled down with only small breathers to a level where the traded volume suggested that it is gonna at least breathe a little bit in a moment, so I took one off when it started to find some absorption. As you see, these are 15-second candles, so it kind of like for a minute went in place, and I was hoping it to retrace a little bit more, so I took one off. The other contract I let run a little bit, but it wasn't really going anywhere, and then on the next somewhat push up, it found a little consolidation again, absorption, and kind of consolidated. So I wasn't waiting until whether or not it's going to make it all the way up, so I went out. A couple of minutes later we pushed new lows and the traded volume looked good, so started nibbling in, building a position to like some medium size. I think I was in about 26 contracts at the time. Then we did the expected retracement. I took most of it off. I did leave a runner, but then the price action in this area showed a top, so I took the last one off too, and sure enough we did come back down. Okay, there was a little push, I guess I started nibbling again, kind of didn't go anywhere, took it off here. I actually fat fingered here and went out of a 1 or 2 lot with a 4 lot, but that's fine. I caught it immediately and flattened, so it was still profitable. Then here around 12:30 Chicago time. We were trading down towards the 620s. Again, started building a position. Had to flatten it before it got to a significant size, but again, all profitable, no red trades. Then around 1240, we had a nice push down, and I started nibbling in here, and I think this was around the 600 level. So I was really waiting for a retracement. I did expect an overshoot, which is why I added when we had that overshoot. I went out with a bunch of contracts profitable here on that little breather, but then there was absorption and kind of like stayed in place here, and I didn't like that after this push. So I basically every 10-15 seconds I just cleared another contract or so, and I did leave one runner. That runner though hit absorption here, and the price action did not look like this was gonna retrace from now, even though the time for that was pretty good. Yeah, so I flattened and it did go down. Yeah, I think eventually we might have gone higher again, but in that moment it was the right call for a scalp. It was another high, another breather, so flat. And I think that was it for today. Got 833 ticks times 6 accounts. Pretty good day. The market is still open, but by now we have traded all the way back basically to VWAP and higher. So actually if we push more extremes on the high, I might actually take a couple shots there. But so far I had a lot of fun and a lot of profit too, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please hit subscribe, click that little bell icon so you get notified when the next video comes online. Thank you for watching, trade safe and always manage your risk.